Now we shall start with filling of criteria 3 in the SSR. Criteria 3 is research, innovations and extension. As you can see, there are total of 14 metrics in this criteria. The first key indicator in criteria 3 is 3.1 resource mobilization for research. Under this we have metric 3.1.1 grants received from government and non-governmental agencies for research projects, endowments, chairs in the institution during the last 5 years, INR in lakhs. This has a sub-question 3.1.1.1 total grants from government and non-governmental agencies for research projects, endowments, chairs in the institution during the last 5 years, INR in lakhs. So here you can see there are 5 text boxes for the 5 assessment years, and the calculation of assessment years is automatically done by the system based on the date of submission of your IIQA. To know more about this, you can go through the guidelines video. Now coming to this metric data, you have to provide the grants that you have received from non-governmental and governmental agencies for the mentioned types. So for example, in 1819 the total grants that you have received is 45 lakhs 50,000. Then here you have to enter it as 45.5. You should not enter as 45 lakhs 50,000 in total. That is, you should not enter as 45 5 again and 000. You should not enter this way because already the data is considered by the system as in lakhs. You have to just enter it as 45.5. Same way you have to enter for all the assessment years. In this metric, you have a mandatory data template upload and upload for e-copies of the grant award letters for sponsored research projects or endowments and any additional information. Data template can be downloaded here by clicking on this, or you can download it from apply online page of NAC website. And to upload the file which you have stored in your system, you have to first click on the upload button. Then there will be a pop-up to select the required file. Just navigate to the required folder and you can search for the file which you have saved from the folder and select the file and just click OK. So I chose a different PDF file. It will not be allowed. Data templates are always Excel files, so you have to select only a Excel file. So now I'll just select the Excel file and click on open. The file will be attached. Anytime the data in a metric or the uploaded files which you have uploaded in a respective metric can be changed until your submission of your SSR. Once you have submitted your SSR, the data or the uploaded files cannot be changed. So you have to verify your data and the file contents and ensure that the contents are correct, and then you have to upload a file. In case you have uploaded a wrong file and you want to change it, just click on remove button, click OK. The file is removed from the metric. Again you can click on upload button and select the required file following the same steps. So this way you can change your uploaded file before submission of SSR anytime. So going ahead with the documents required for verification of this metric and the specific instructions of metric, we will see. Here the documents required are list of grants for research projects received during the last 5 years along with the nature of award, the awarding agency and the amount, e-copies of the letters of award for research projects sponsored by government and non-government sources. The specific instruction says sanction letter of grants by the funding agency is mandatory to support the claim, and the duration of the grant period should be aligned with the assessment period. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV in this metric is the grants given by their own trust or sister institutions. That is, the trust to which your institution belongs, the grants given by the same trust should not be included in this metric, and grants in the form of equipments or software or skill development centers will not be considered by DVV as a grant. Moving ahead, we have metric 3.1.2, which is percentage of teachers recognized as research guides latest completed academic year. This has a sub-question 3.1.2.1, number of teachers recognized as research guides. Here you can see related input, that is number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years. This is nothing but the extended profile question, which is having the values entered by you in the extended profile. This becomes one of the parameters for formula in this metric. Hence it is shown as related input. Here you have to enter the number of teachers who are recognized as research guides. So you can enter the data as per the requirement of your institution. Right now you can see this box is not editable and there is nothing displayed here. So once you click on save button, the final response of this metric will be generated by the system. So here you can see the final response of the metric generated by system. Further, this metric has a mandatory data template upload and upload of any additional information. Now let us see what are the documents required for verification and the specific instructions of this metric. The documents required are e-copies of letters from the university indicating the name of the guide or co-guide recognized, and data pertaining to only teachers of the institution in the latest completed academic year. The specific instruction says teachers recognized as guides during the latest completed academic year only should be considered, and if the data is large, that is you have given the data of huge number of teachers who are recognized as guides, then DVV will ask for the guideship letters of specific list of teachers during DVV clarification process. Ashvi! Going ahead, we have metric 3.1.3, which is percentage of departments having research projects funded by government and non-government agencies during the last 5 years. So here you have two sub-questions. First one is 3.1.3.1, number of departments having research projects funded by the government and non-government agencies during the last 5 years. And the second sub question is number of departments offering academic programs. So you have to enter the values of both the sub questions and then click on save button to see the final response of the metric. Here for this metric you have a mandatory data template upload and upload for supporting document from funding agency, link to the funding agency website, and any additional information. Now let us see the documents required and specific instructions of this metric. The documents required is the list of teachers along with the department affiliation, title of the funded project, the amount and the funding agency during the last 5 years. The specific instruction says data provided in this metric has to match with that of 3.1.1. What should not be included or will not be considered is grants given by your own trust or sister institutions should not be included. Grants in the form of equipments or software or skill development centers will not be considered by DVV. Going ahead, we have key indicator 3.2, which is innovation ecosystem. 3.2.1, institution has created an ecosystem for innovations and has initiatives for creation and transfer of knowledge. Once you click on help button here, you'll be able to see you have to write the description in a maximum of 500 words. So for writing the description, you can directly type the content here as required, or if you want to copy it from a file or a web page, you have to click on paste button here and then click on Ctrl V to paste it from a external source. If your description is beyond 500 words, or if you require to give any supporting documents for the description, then you can put it on your institutional website or a document. The document can be uploaded in the additional information, or if you have hosted it on your website, then you can provide the link for additional information here. Going ahead, we have metric 3.2.2, which is number of workshops or seminars conducted on research methodology, intellectual property rights, and entrepreneurship during the last 5 years. 3.2.2.1, that is total number of workshops or seminars conducted on research methodology, intellectual property rights IPR, and entrepreneurship year wise during the last 5 years. So you have to provide the data for each year, and there is a mandatory data template upload and upload for report of the event and any additional information. Now let us see the further details of this metric. The documents required for verification of this metric are detailed report for each program, brochure or geotagged photograph with date and captions, title of the workshops or seminars conducted, details of resource persons. Then you have specific instructions which says only activities with a bearing on research methodology, intellectual property rights, entrepreneurship and skills development are to be considered in this metric. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV in this metric is the courses conducted under the metric 1.2.2 should not be considered in this metric. Going ahead, we have key indicator 3.3, research publications and awards. The first metric is 3.3.1, number of PhDs registered per eligible teacher during the last 5 years. Here you have sub questions 3.3.1.1, how many PhDs registered per eligible teacher within last 5 years, and 3.3.1.2, number of teachers recognized as guides during the last 5 years. So you can enter the data as per the requirement of your institution and then click on save button to see the final response of the metric generated. Here you can see the final response of the metric. This metric has a mandatory data template upload and URL to the research page on HEI website and any additional information. Now let us see the further details of this metric. List of faculties along with the name of the research scholars or guide during the assessment period. Guideship should be valid during the assessment period, and specific instruction says document of registration of the research scholar indicating the guide's name from the university. If data is large, randomly selected research scholars document from the university will be sought. What should not be included or not considered in this metric is the Guideship registration after the assessment period should not be considered. Going ahead, we have metric 3.3.2, which is number of research papers per teacher in the journals notified on UGC website during the last 5 years. This has a sub-question 3.3.2.1, number of research papers in the journals notified on UGC website during the last 5 years. This again has a related input, that is the extended profile question, number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years, and there is a standard value used in this metric, that is total academic years considered is 5, which represents the 5 assessment years of NAC. After entering the values of all the assessment years, you can click on Save button for the final response to be generated. This metric has a mandatory data template upload and upload for any additional information. The documents required for verification of this metric are web link provided by institution in the template should redirect to the journal web page published in UGC list. Specific instructions says actual link of UGC for journals has to be specified, and what not to be included or will not be considered is incomplete entries will not be considered. If details given are not complete with the UGC link, the respective publication will not be considered. Moving ahead, we have metric 3.3.3, which is number of books and chapters, edited volumes or books published and papers published in national or international conference proceedings per teacher during the last 5 years. This has a sub question 3.3.3.1, total number of books and chapters in edited volumes or books published and papers in national or international conference proceedings year wise during the last 5 years. You have to enter the value for all the 5 assessment years and then click on Save button. The related input, that is the extended profile question, is number of full-time teachers year-wise during the last 5 years. The standard value of total academic year considered 5 is used in this metric. This metric has a standard data template upload and upload for any additional information. The documents required for verification of this metric is the cover page, content page and first page of the selected publication, web link of research papers by title, author, department or school or division or center or unit or cell, name and year of publication. Specific instruction says books with ISBN number only would be considered. The details of selected publications would be sought during the DVV clarification process if the data is large. What should not be included or will not be considered by DVV is the publication claimed under 3.3.2 should not be repeated or included in this metric. Going ahead, we have key indicator 3.4, extension activities. 3.4.1, extension activities are carried out in the neighborhood community, sensitizing students to social issues for their holistic development and impact thereof during the last 5 years. Once you click on help button, you can see here you have to describe the impact of extension activities in sensitizing students to social issues and holistic development within a 500 words. You can type the description or you can paste it after copying from an external source by selecting this paste button and click on Ctrl V and then click OK. If you have a description beyond 500 words or any other supporting documents, you can upload the documents or paste the link of your institutional website. Going ahead, we have metric 3.4.2, which is number of awards and recognitions received for extension activities from government or government recognized bodies during the last 5 years. This has a sub question 3.4.2.1. Total number of awards and recognition received for extension activities from government or government recognized bodies year wise during the last 5 years. You have to give the data for the respective assessment years as per the requirement of your institution, and then you can click on save. Once you click on save, the final response of the metric will be generated. So here you can see the final response of the metric. This metric has a mandatory standard data template to be uploaded and e-copy of the award letters and any additional information. The documents required for verification of the data in this metric is e-copy of the award letters, any supporting document in relevance to the metric, and specific instruction says these awards are to the institution and not to the individual and for extension activities only. What should not be included or will not be considered is the awards to the individuals or awards received other than extension activities or awards from own trust or sister institutions or awards which are local in nature such as urban or local bodies or panchayat etc. are to be awarded in this metric. Going ahead, we have metric 3.4.3, which is number of extension and outreach programs conducted by the institution through NSS or NCC or Red Cross or YRC, etc., including the programs such as Swachh Bharat, AIDS awareness, gender issues, etc., and or those organized in collaboration with industry, community, and NGOs during the last 5 years. This has a sub question 3.4.3.1. Number of extension and outreach programs conducted in collaboration with industry, community, and non government organizations through NSS or NCC or Red Cross or YRC, etc., year wise during the last 5 years. You have to provide the data for the 5 assessment years as per the requirement of your institution. This metric has a mandatory standard data template to be uploaded, reports of the event organization to be uploaded, and upload for any additional information. The documents required for verification in this metric are the geotagged photographs and any other supporting document of relevance should have proper captions and dates. How to upload the geotagged photographs or how to be clicked has been explained in the guidelines video. We understand you can have multiple events organized in your institutions. In such a case, you can put all the photographs in your institutional website and provide the URL in this metric. How to click a geotagged photograph has been explained in the guidelines video. Detailed report for each extension and outreach program to be made available with specific mention of number of students participated and collaborating agency. The specific instruction says the documents can be supplemented with newspaper reports of events, and not to be included or considered is the events conducted for the benefit of their own students, not to be included under outreach programs. Going ahead, we have metric 3.4.4, which is average percentage of students participating in extension activities at 3.4.3 above during last 5 years. So here you have to give total number of students participating in extension activities conducted in collaboration with industry, community, and non-government organizations such as Swachh Bharat, AIDS, awareness, gender issues, etc. year-wise during last 5 years. That is, just now we have explained 3.4.3.1 where you are giving the list of the extension activities. Here you have to give the students who have participated in such of extension activities which are mentioned in 343. The related input is number of students year wise during last 5 years, which is a extended profile question. This metric has a mandatory data template to be uploaded and upload for any additional information and report of the event. The documents required for verification in this metric are detailed report for each program extension and outreach program to be made available with specific mention of number of students participated and collaborating agency. Photographs or any supporting document of relevance should have proper captions and dates. Specific instructions during the DVV process, HEI may be asked for student attendance documents or certificates for selected extension activities, and data given here should match with that of the activities indicated in metric 3.4.3. Moving ahead, we have key indicator 3.5 collaboration. 3.5.1 Number of collaborative activities for research, faculty exchange, student exchange or internship per year. 3.5.1 Point 1 Number of collaborative activities for research, faculty exchange, student exchange, or internship year wise during the last 5 years. So you have to provide the data for all the 5 assessment years and then click on save button for the final response of the metric to be generated. E-copies of related documents can be uploaded. There is a mandatory data template upload and upload for any additional information. The documents required for verification in this metric are copies of collaboration or related documents indicating the nature of collaboration and activities year-wise, and the specific instruction says the collaboration should be valid for the assessment period. The collaboration activities of research or faculty exchange or student exchange or internship or on-job training or project work should be facilitated through the mentioned collaboration only. What not to be included or will not be considered is the collaborations mentioned in metric 3.4.3, collaborations with the sister institutions under the same trust, certificates issued by external agencies to students or faculty for research or faculty exchange or student exchange or internship cannot be the proof for having collaboration with the external agency. Ashvi! Moving ahead, we have metric 3.5.2, which is number of functional MoUs with institutions, other universities, industries, corporate houses, etc. during the last 5 years. This has a sub-question 3.5.2.1, number of functional MoUs with institutions of national, international importance, other universities, industries, corporate houses, etc. year-wise during the last 5 years. You have to provide the data for the 5 assessment years and then click on save button. You have a mandatory data template to be uploaded, and details of functional MOUs with institutions are to be uploaded, and upload for any additional information is available. The verification of the data in this metric is through the documents which are required here. List of activities conducted under each MOU along with dates of starting and completion, year wise signed by both parties, e-copy of the letters showing MOUs with other institutions. Specific instruction says the MOU should be functional during the assessment period, and if the MOU is for 3 years, that is 2011 to 2013, it should be considered or counted only once. At least one activity should have been conducted under an MOU during the assessment period to qualify it as a functional MOU with the institution. What should not be included or will not be considered is the MOUs with the sister institutions under the same trust should not be included, and you have to avoid the data given in metric 3.5.1. After completing all the metrics, you can click on Save button at the end of the criteria.